Hey guys, it is Tuesday and we are solving multi-step equations. So we're just combining all the things we've learned for this chapter together. And so we just keep upping it every time, every day. So this time we need to make sure, let's kind of go over this again. This time we're going to have variables on each side of the equation. So again, always simplify your equations by distributing or combining like terms. Always do that before you do anything. Next, if you have like terms, I always have the phrase red rover, send the smallest variable over by adding or subtracting. So once we do that, then we're back to our normal stuff and we undo addition or subtraction or undo multiplication or division. So let's take a look here. So looking at this equation here, there's nothing to simplify here, but I have a variable on each side of this equation. So I need to get those together. I need to combine my like terms, so I need to send the smallest one over here. Therefore, we eliminate having negatives and losing negatives, and that's the reason why I say that. So a positive 5 is less than a positive 7, so I'm going to send it over by subtracting it to the other side, just like that. So over here, I'm left with just an 8 equals 7c take away 5c is 2c minus 2. And so then I just bring that down. So I combine these like terms and then bring this constant down. Now this is just a regular two-step where I need to add 2 to both sides since I'm solving for c. And I end up with 10 is equal to 2c. Divide by 2 to both sides, and then c is equal to 10 divided by 2, which is 5. That's it. Next one. Same thing. I've got my variables on both sides, and I need to get those together, but which one is the least? Well, a negative 9 is furthest away from 0, so it is less. So I'm going to add 9f. Red rover, send the smallest one over by adding or subtracting. So I'm going to add 9f. So this cancels out. I'm left with a negative 6, don't lose that negative, equals. Okay, so I'm going to combine these two because they're like terms. So what is a negative 3 plus 9? That's a positive 6f. Don't forget to bring down that 7. Now again, it's a regular two-step equation. Subtract 7 from both sides. Negative 6 take away 7 is a negative 13 equals 6f. Divide by 6, divide by 6. This does not divide evenly, so we're just going to leave it as f is equal to a negative 13 over 6. It is okay, and we prefer you to leave them as improper fractions. This one's a little different. So first of all, we need to simplify. So we're going to have to distribute. So what is half of 8? 4. 1/2 times a negative x is a negative 1/2 x. Okay, this side is fine. So red rover, send the smallest variable over. So I'm going to send this one is less than this one. So I'm going to add 1/2 x to both sides. Add 1/2 x. So I end up with just a 4 over here. And in my calculator, I want to show you something because we do want to leave these as improper. So in my calculator, I'm going to say what is 1x, so just 1, plus 1 ABC2. And I get 1/2, which I knew that. But I need to change this to an improper fraction. To do so, I need to hit this blue or my second key, and if you see above here it's got that ABC2, an improper fraction, then I would hit that button and equals, and it's going to change it to 3 over 2. And again, we need to try to leave these as improper fractions. We've got to get used to that. Okay, so now how do I get rid of a fraction? Multiply by its reciprocal to both sides. So we're going to multiply both sides by its reciprocal. So x is equal to let's see, 4 times 2ABC3. Again, I get a mixed number. I'm going to change that to improper to get 8/3. Again, rewind this and go slow if you need to know how to do that. If you don't have a calculator and you're just not digging the Desmos going back and forth, I highly suggest that you check one out from our school library. So if you're here on an A day or a B day, go ahead and go to the library like you're checking out a book, and I wonder if I can get those for you. I'm just trying to think. Well, you'll be fine. Just get that checked out. The first thing in the morning is what I would suggest. Or when that 18 bell rings at the very end of the day, that would be good. All right. This next one, hopefully you're thinking, oh, we need to simplify this first. So do nothing until I get rid of these parentheses. So this side looks good, so I'm just going to rewrite that. 8x minus 14 is equal to 6 plus 4x. Again, I have my x's on both sides. Send the smallest one over. By adding or subtracting, since this is addition, I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. I'm left here, combine these like terms, with 4x minus 14, so bring that down, equals 6, because that cancels out. Add 14, 4x is equal to 20, divide by 4, and x equals 5. I hope my hand is not in your way this whole time. This one looks like a doozy. So if you want to start this on your own and see if, then start it and see if your answer looks like mine, I highly suggest that. So if you want to stop this now. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going. Distribute. 5p plus 15 plus 8 equals 3p minus 6 plus 5. I'm going to combine my like terms before I do anything else. I need to clean this up. 5p plus 23 is equal to 3p. Negative 6 plus 5. I can clean that up to negative 1. Red Rover, send the smallest one over. So I'm going to subtract 3p from both sides. And I end up with 2p plus 23 equals negative 1. Subtract that 23 from both sides. 2p is equal to a negative 24. Divide both sides by 2. And p equals negative 12. Hope you got the same answer. All right, we've got one more thing to look at today before we talk about your assignment. So there are two special solutions that may happen. One of those is called a no solution, and that's where your variables cancel out and you are left with a false statement. And that false statement would be something like, does 3 equal 7? No, it does not. That is false. If you end up with something like that, that means no solution. Or, if your variables cancel each other out, and you end up with a true statement, like 3 is equal to 3, then that's true. In that instance, that means your solution are all real numbers. So you'll either end up with just one solution, like we did on the previous page, like x equals 2. That's one solution. You may end up with a false statement, and so your answer would be no solution. Or you might end up with a true statement, and your answer would be all real numbers. So let's look at what this looks like. These look like bears, but they're really pretty easy. So let's distribute first. 8 times 5 is 40c. 8 times negative 2 is negative 16. 10 times 32 is 320. 10 times 4 is a positive 40c. Now, you would think, oh, I've got to get these two together. Okay, this is, okay, we're going to subtract 40 from both sides, 40c minus 40c. And again, I just like this to kind of separate my two sides of my equation. This cancels out, and I'm left with a statement that says negative 16 is equal to 320. Is that true or false? That is a false statement. Therefore, this has no solution. Not too bad. Let's try this one. Distribute, distribute. This one looks longer, but again, it's not that bad. We can do this. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 3 is a positive 12. Bring down that minus 3. 6 times x is 6x. 6 times 3 is positive 18. And then just bring these down. Okay. Now if I look at these really need to be cleaned up. So let's go ahead and clean this up. I can combine those two. So I end up with 4x. 12 take away 3 is a positive 9. Over here, I have a 6x take away 2x, which leaves me a 4x, and 18 take away 9, which is a positive 9. If you would look at this, it says the same thing on both sides, so that's a true statement. But if we kept going and we wanted to say, oh, we need to get these variables together, I could subtract 4x from both sides. It doesn't matter which one. He cancels out. And I'm left with 9 is equal to 9. And that is a true statement. Therefore, all real numbers would be my solution. Okay, let's talk about your assignment. Your assignment is going to take 3 days. So we're giving you Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to do this. So I think it may be even up to 30 questions. It's a facing math, so I want it to be completed. Feel free to reach out to me if you have questions. Feel free to reach out to other people in your classroom. So Tuesday, all of you already have this facing math, so you'll get the assignment whether you're here, whether you're online, and then you will complete it. Then you will complete the facing, your picture of your face. And then on Thursday or Friday, depending what days you are here, you will turn that in. Since we are taking 3 days for this, I'm going to take a grade for it. So make sure you take your time and do it correctly. If you're at home and if you're doing the KSD Connect, then you would just upload your picture by Friday or by Thursday. I would say by Thursday. What else? I think that's it. Then we have one more section on Friday, and then we're done with Chapter 2. All right, let me know if you have any questions.